let's just dive straight into it. The OnePlus 9 Pro having DOL-HDR. What is DOL-HDR? What does it mean for us? What are we going to be gaining? Let's just get straight into the video. My name is John. This is Cookie Tech. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you want to see tech videos, especially OnePlus videos, all through the week. The OnePlus 9 Pro series is launching in less than a week now, and I'm going to be covering all of the tech specs as well as a review of the phone, camera quality, and all of that when it comes out. DOL-HDR is actually a combination of software and hardware. So the new Sony IMX789 sensor, which is going to be used in the OnePlus 9 Pro, is going to unlock this technology for us. So we'll need to wait and see if other phone manufacturers are able to implement it through software updates, but so far it seems like OnePlus 9 Pro might be one of the only devices using this technology. Now, it is already used in dash cams for cars and stuff like that, but this is definitely going to be one of the first times that we've seen it in a mobile device. So the reason this is sort of next generation and people are really excited for it is standard HDR, high dynamic range photographs work by the camera taking a few different images at different exposures and then combining them. It could be 2 images, could be 7 images, could be 12 images. It really depends on the camera and the settings. What it does is it will take all the detail that it can see in its dark photograph of the high light areas, and it will take all the dark areas that it can see in its brightest photograph, and it will combine all of them in a very smart algorithm, hopefully, to create a really high dynamic range image that's punchy, that's sharp, but you don't lose the sky because it's too bright or lose the floor because it's too dark, as you sometimes might see in older cameras. Now, the issue with this is that when it captures all these different photographs, there is unfortunately an ever so slight delay because you're holding the camera's moving, and it's taking all of these different exposures one after another, even if they are quite fast. So this next generation DOL-HDR technology is said to unlock a whole new range of photographic potential because it takes all of those photographs effectively at the same time. This means that we're going to be losing HDR ghosting, which is when the image and the frame shift between the different exposures, and when it stitches them all together you get this weird ghosting effect on the corners. This is what HDR ghosting looks like. Definitely not something that we want in this house. DOL-HDR is going to be focusing on taking 2 images at the same time, so not like 7 or 10 or 12 like some other old cameras do. Now, we are hoping to get this in photos and video, but the way that this technology actually works is when you take a photograph and you have a sensor or a video, for example, the sensor reading goes 1 row at a time on most camera sensors. So it sort of captures each line of the pixels that that sensor can see. And that's why if you move the camera side to side, you'll see this wobbling effect. Now, there are cameras out there that don't have this. For example, a lot of Blackmagic cameras have something called a global shutter. Global shutter, I believe this is the right terminology, means that it's taking all of those sensor readings at the same time, which means when you move the camera side to side, you don't get that wobbling effect. However, this is a really expensive technology to include, and most people don't have it in their cameras. Maybe we'll see it in phone cameras in the future, but not now. Now, the way that this DOL-HDR technology works is it actually takes 2 readings as it goes across each line of sensor, and this means that it can take 2 exposures. So definitely very cool, especially considering most HDR technology that we see in video nowadays is really just crude upscaling and video effects being applied and filters, and not actual HDR performance. One of the main concerns with DOL-HDR is that we could be having a slower read speed of the sensor, which means that our rolling shutter is going to be much worse, meaning that when you move the camera from one side to another, you have a really extreme bending of the image, which again is something you might not necessarily notice that much on your current phone camera, but if you were to use a really old phone camera, it will be super obvious and it's really ugly. So the OnePlus 8 Pro can take photographs in 10-bit color. It is going to be exciting to see what the OnePlus 9 Pro can do with 12-bit color though. Just to give a comparison, the jump between 10-bit color and 12-bit color is 10-bit color has around 1 million different colors to choose from, whereas 12-bit color has around 68 million colors to choose from. So it's quite a big jump, but realistically, you don't need it, but it is pretty cool. On the screen now is a photograph that is said to have been taken on the OnePlus 9 Pro Hasselblad collaboration using the brand new Sony IMX789 sensor. Anyway, that is everything for today's DOL-HDR technology update. I really hope you're as excited for the OnePlus 9 Pro as I am. Can't wait to get my hands on it, review it, tell you what I think about it. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like. If you loved the video, be sure to subscribe, and I will see you in the next tech update here on Cookie Tech. Bye.